pretty sure every single one of you has tried controlling a jet from a distance and seeing absolute disaster. Sadly, there aren't many ways of controlling a plane from a distance. So that's why today's build is gonna be quite challenging. I want to build a remote-controlled plane doing the impossible. Now, that impossible part, I'll actually figure out later. First things first, I want to just build the actual microplane itself because, you know, that should be challenging enough in and of itself. I got to build with anchor mode on. Now, before starting any build, what I would recommend is figuring out the general shape of what you're going to be building. So just build what you're going to make, but just make it very, very ugly. So yeah, because I want to build one of those really old and like barely functioning planes, I think this is kind of like the general design that I want to go with. Yeah, baby, this is perfect because I actually wanted to be able to like sit someone while they are in tiny mode. And that looks just about right. So yeah, now that we have the general size and shape, let's actually start working on the actual plane itself. So yeah, of course, this thing is not going to be made out of wood. So we're going to replace this with something a little bit more appropriate. I'm going to use plastic. All right, so I'm going to start working on the actual body of the plane right here. So let's make it look very, very nice. And to do this, I'm just going to use the age-old circle trick. You know, I feel like everyone knows it at this point, but all you need to do is find a single block and just around that point, keep placing blocks in a circle, and that way you'll get a perfectly smooth circle. Oh boy, yes, that is starting to look pretty nice. All right, everything so far has been going very well. Now, when I actually have to turn this plane into, or actually, I should say, when I have to turn this circle into a plane, that's when everything's going to start getting quite challenging because a plane notoriously has all of these really complicated shapes. That's going to be an absolute nightmare to put together. But hey, I'm going to try my very best. All right. A circle has been made, so at least we've got that part done now. Now, I'm gonna eat a small candy right now because what I want to do next up is I actually want to build the passenger seat itself. So I'm gonna scale this down a whole bunch, and let's see. All right, so right now we have 3 circles right here. You can't really see the difference, but as I paint them like that, it's pretty clear where the different circles are. And in the middle circle right here is where I want to build the seat, or at least I should say the passenger seat. So let's have a look right here. The hole needs to be, it doesn't need to be too big. I mean, hey, I'm proper set in there right now. Let's clone this over. All right, so right there we now have a passenger seat. See, can I actually fit in there? Oh my God, I actually could. Oh my God. Okay, that actually looks perfect. And the seat is totally hidden, guys. For that reason, I actually ended up making the circle a teeny bit bigger just so that I could actually fit that in there. All right, then. Now I'm just going to have to hide the inside of the plane just so that you can't, like, see the inside of the actual plane because that would just be weird. There you go. Okay, that's perfect. Oh, dude, I love it. Now we got to just perfectly transition this part into the actual part that's going to have the, like, the back wing on it. Because apparently if a plane doesn't have one of those, it's going to fly into oblivion. It's gonna burn and crash, crumble. All right, then. So now that we have this part done, next up, I'm going to start working on the actual pilot wings themselves. These 2 big boys right here. Now, one of these wings is partially covering the seat right now, but that's actually how they are in the real world as well. I think I'm just going to have to make this part collision off to actually still be able to sit down. And I might have to slightly raise it. All right, that's looking a little bit more like it. All right, then, time to start working on the actual wing itself. Now, once again, I want to make this perfectly smooth. All right, time to do some math. But oh boy, okay, that is actually looking so good. All right, and now we have it on both sides, and as you guys can see, that is starting to look really, really good. Right, let's move it in place. Remove the old part. Dude, this is looking so good so far. All right, now just replace the other one like so. And that right there is looking so good. Oh my God. All right, now we just got to connect these wings together because the way it actually is done in the real plane, it's like a suspension system. It's pretty weird. All right, that right there is looking pretty good so far. All we have left to do is to connect the top wing to the actual body of the plane itself. And then I actually have a pretty clever trick that I'm going to do for the back and the front. Oh my God, guys, as you can see, my plane is already working. Wow. Okay, guys, it's not fully done yet, okay? There's a couple more things to do, but things are really starting to come together. As you can see, we now have the suspension system fully done. And if I say so myself, it's looking gorgeous. Now, for the actual back part of the plane, I have a very clever idea. But now, first things first, let's quickly do the front because how fun would it be if we could actually make it that the front is spinning? Now, that might sound pretty easy, but it's actually very, very challenging. Believe it or not, planes in build mode really, really don't like flying with moving parts. All right, now that right there is actually looking pretty cool. Now, if only we can make sure that not only does let this plane crash into oblivion. Like, it actually needs to somehow spin. Now, doing that, I have a little trick up my sleeve. I'm gonna go right here and place a wheel that's actually gonna be invisible. Actually, wait, I need it to be visible while I'm working with it. And it's gonna go loop around back into the plane. So when we actually spin it, it should look like the servo is actually doing it. Okay, make that invisible, make that invisible. And I'm gonna save this just to try it out. Actually, wait, I haven't saved yet in general. You should save more often during your builds. All right, everything's unanchored. Let's see. Is it gonna spin? And yeah, baby. Of course it will. Oh my God, that actually looks amazing. Yeah, okay, I really like that. All right then, so now that we have the front completed, I have a really good idea for what I'm gonna do with the back. So first things first, I'm gonna delete that block right there. I'm gonna place a block exactly in the center. And okay, please tell me this looks good. Please tell me this looks good. I delete that. I move this further into the build. Oh my God, wait. That actually looks pretty good. Wait, I thought I perfectly measured it so that the plastic there would actually cover up the black part. It doesn't. Okay, I thought this was gonna work. Yeah, that looks terrible. I'm not gonna do that. I thought this was gonna look very good, but that looks absolutely awful. Okay. Now, but I'm trying to figure out if there is some sort of way that I can quote-unquote cheat the actual side wings, because honestly, that's going to be the most difficult part, and these are looking pretty cool. If you don't know what these are the very rare and also very expensive merchandise wings. So the only way you can actually get these is by buying a physical Roblox toy. Yeah, those are actually looking a lot nicer. And yeah, that would actually save me quite a lot of time so that I don't have to build the side wings. Now I only need to build the thing that goes upwards. Actually, if you wanted to like do this yourself, you could even use these star wings. I don't really know how you can get these anymore either. It feels like we haven't had an update in a very long time. But yeah, you could do the same kind of thing with these. It's the same general idea. All right then, and with that, it's time that we start working on the actual plane part that goes upwards at the end. So I'm gonna actually move these out of the way. There you go. And yeah, this is gonna be fun. Okay, so, all right, and now we're gonna just have to construct this into a nice looking plane piece. So after a little while, I think this general shape is gonna work, so I'm gonna start working on it. Oh boy, okay, that is actually looking amazing. All that's left to do is to give this thing a paint job, and it's ready to fly! At least if we make the mechanics. All right, baby, there it is. Now, somehow, I actually managed to forget adding in the wheels earlier, so I also added those, and dude, it is looking phenomenal. So now that we have all of this sorted out, let's get working on the actual mechanics themselves. What we're gonna use to make this entire thing fly. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a very obscure and very strange method, and it requires this item called the snowball launcher. Now, if you don't have this, don't worry. I have faith that we're gonna get a Christmas update, and I really hope that we're gonna get this one back, because honestly, it's one of the most fun weapons in the game. Pretty much, you can aim anywhere and just keep firing around just like that. But don't worry, guys. If you don't have a snowball cannon, you can also just use the actual regular cannon, the one that you have to aim like this. So yeah, the glitch also works with that. All right then, so now what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to put in place a plane part, just like so. Now, don't worry, currently this looks pretty bad, but we're gonna just make this invisible, so it doesn't really matter too much anyway. Then I'm gonna go in right here, and I'm actually gonna, what? Oh, anchor block. So yeah, I'm gonna go in right here in the middle, and I'm gonna create a block with some titanium on the end, just to weigh it down, because if this thing is a little bit unbalanced, otherwise it's pretty much just gonna spin around in circles. There we go. All right, put this back in place. There we are. Then let's build the actual mechanics themselves now. So we're gonna go in right here, place one of these or one of these. Honestly, it doesn't matter. All we're gonna have to do is exactly in the center, place a hinge. On the snow cannon, you actually have to do it on 0.5. Just make sure that it's touching exactly in the center. And you know it's working is if you unanchor these, as you guys can see, the actual hinge is stuck to my camera cursor. And yeah, it goes for both of them. So yeah, let me put that back in place just like so. All right, then next up, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in right here and we're gonna place a spring just like that, facing outwards with a piston on the end. And we're gonna go grab ourselves another hinge, and we want to make sure that that's pointing into the piston just like that. Now I'm gonna just show you guys exactly how this is gonna work with just simply a regular jet turbine. So I'm gonna place it on the end right there just like that. Of course, at some point soon we're gonna make that the actual plane that we have created. So let's give it a proper try. Now this stuff linked the wrong thing. All right, so let's try it out. So all I need to do right now is unanchor all of this stuff right there. I'm gonna flick the lever, and then I'm gonna sit in the chair. And as you guys can see, for some reason, I can start controlling where this thing is flying simply by where I'm pointing. It is honestly one of the craziest and weirdest glitches in the entire game. But yeah, I am currently remotely controlling that jet. And when I unactivate it, it's just chilling over there. So let's get it all hooked up to our actual plane. So currently everything is visible. Gonna have to make sure that that is indeed in there. Okay, that's really in there. Gonna hide the plane. We're gonna hide that stuff underneath there. And I'm pretty sure everything should be ready. We're gonna just select that to that. We're gonna unlink those. And we're gonna select the wheel to the lever as well. So guys, because we actually want to properly control this thing, what I'm gonna do real quick is I'm gonna go right here and place myself a camera just at the top right there, which is gonna be invisible. And I'm gonna connect that to a delay right over here. We're gonna connect that to the camera and then select the lever to the delay. And then we're gonna set this to like 4 seconds. All right then, baby, let's try it out. Oh my God, I am so excited. Okay, unanchor everything. As you guys can see, currently, it is just floating in space. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna flick the lever, sit in it, and any second now we should go into the... Yes! Guys, we have a remote-controlled plane! Oh my God, this is so cool! Now, if we'd wanted, we could very, very easily pick up anyone. Because, of course, we have the seat prep for, you know, a little guy. Dude, this is literally like a flying toy plane. Oh, this is amazing. All right, let's just fly over to the pink team real quick. Yeah, guys, that right there is a remote-controlled plane if I've ever seen one.